Hello, everybody. Myself, Prashanth Mukhopadhyay, faculty member, Electrical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. Today, in our lecture, we'll learn about the thermistor ratings and its different specifications. So, why we should learn this? Because it is very important unless and until we know the different ratings, voltage, current, power, temperature, turn-off time, etc. We can't use SCR for specific purposes unless and until we know their ratings, up to which ratings they can be operated without any damage. So these are the things we'll discuss in this lecture. Now, in this lecture, basically, we'll start with this introduction, that is what I told you in elaborately, then voltage ratings, different voltage ratings, that is forward blocking, peak voltage rating, repetitive forward blocking voltage rating, non-repetitive or surge forward blocking voltage, maximum peak working reverse voltage, peak repetitive reverse voltage, peak non-repetitive or surge reverse voltage, Armstead voltage, gate triggering voltage, forward DVDT rating, voltage safety factors, and these are all about the voltage. And then current ratings, average on-state current rating, RMS on-state current rating, surge current ratings, I2T rating, DIGT ratings, then latching current, holding current, gate current, temperature ratings, power ratings, average power distribution, gate power distribution, turn in and turn times ratings. So why all these things we'll discuss, or what is the requirement of discussing or gathering knowledge about these ratings and specifications of thyristors. So this is very important because under all operating conditions, reliable operation of any SCR can be ensured if it is operated such that its ratings are not exceed the given value. So thyristors manufacturers are manufactured for a particular current, voltage, power, temperature, and switching frequency limits within which they can operate reliably. So these are called ratings. Basically, these are minimum or maximum values that set limits on the capability of an SCR. Exceeding these limits, even for short duration also, could lead to malfunction or damage the SCR. Therefore, for the benefit of the users, the manufacturers always gives a list of current, voltage, power, temperature ratings, etc. These ratings basically are essential for correct application of SCR in various power electronic circuit. In practice, SCR ratings with actually higher ratings than required working ratings are selected to allow safety margin. These ratings may be continuous, non-repetitive, or surge and repetitive ratings. So depending on the unilateral or bilateral devices, the continuous ratings are denoted in terms of RMS or average values. Surge and repetitive ratings are corresponding to peak values of the SCR. So let us discuss various ratings of an SCR in brief. Different voltage and current ratings are assigned with one or more subscripts for easy identification. The first subscript indicates the state of the SCR and includes, who there are states are like forward bias states, so that is denoted by F, reverse bias states, that is denoted by R, and on state denoted by T. And D, that is the forward blocking state with gate open. These are all about the first subscript of say voltage, like this is forward F, reverse R, on state T, and forward blocking D. Second subscript indicate the operating values, and those are T for trigger, S for surge or non-repetitive value, R for repetitive value, and W for working value. So voltage rating actually of the SCR is it is the voltage capability of the SCR that should not be exceeded during the operation, even for short periods, which I told you at the very beginning. So SCR is assigned with different voltage rating, which are maximum voltages at which SCR can function normally without breakdown of junctions. So these are assigned in both blocking states of an SCR and can withstand against voltage tangents. The various voltage ratings of SCR can be then given as peak working forward blocking voltage. So that is VDWM. So peak means maximum, this is M. W means working and D means forward. So D means blocking, the forward blocking. So this is peak working forward blocking voltage. So that is it is the maximum instantaneous value of forward blocking voltage across the SCR, excluding all surge and repetitive transient voltages. So beyond this value of voltage, the SCR cannot withstand during its operation. This VDWM is equal to the maximum or peak value of the supply voltage waveform that is shown here. Here you see this is the supply voltage, this is the peak. Now peak repetitive forward blocking voltage VDRM. This is shown here. This is something more than VDWM, and here also you are finding this is more. So this is this search, right? So repetitive, this is happening in a repetitive way. So this is repetitive. That's why this is called repetitive voltage. So this is the maximum tangent voltage that the SCR can block during its forward blocking step repeatedly or periodically. See, these are the happening repeatedly. Okay. So this is a specific biasing resistance between cathode and gate, or at a maximum permissible junction temperature between gate circuit open. So this voltage VDRM is encountered or appeared across the SCR when the SCR is turned off or commutated or due to diodes in the converter circuit. So during turn-up process, an abrupt change in reverse recovery current causes to create a voltage spike, which is responsible of VDRM to appear across the SCR. This is VDRM. Now, peak non-repetitive or charge forward blocking voltage. So DSM, VDSM, this is the maximum instantaneous value of forward surge voltage across the SCR. That is of non-repetitive. This VDSM is less than the forward breakover voltage VBO, and this value is in the range of about 130% of the VDRM. That is shown here. This one, see, this is forward breakover voltage. This is less than that. So these are all about this forward. Then come to peak working reverse voltage, the RWM. This is the maximum instantaneous value of reverse voltage across the SCR, excluding all surge and repetitive tangent voltage. This VRWM is equal to the maximum negative value of the supply voltage wave, which is shown here. Here, okay, that is shown here. See, now this peak repetitive reverse voltage VRRM, it is a occurrence due to maximum reverse tangent voltage repeatedly or periodically across the SCR in the reverse directions at permissible maximum junction temperatures. Beyond this rating, the SCR may get damaged due to excessive junction temperature. This voltage is also appeared due to same reason of VDRM, like here it is shown. This one, you see, this is more than this. Now come to peak non-repetitive or surge reverse voltage VRSM. It refers to the maximum value of reverse transient voltage across the SCR that is of non-repetitive. This VRSM is less than the reverse breakover voltage BVR, and this value is in the range of about 130% of the VRRM. The charge voltage rating VDSM and VRSM can be increased by connecting a diode of equal current rating in series with the SCR. So these are all the voltage ratings are belonging to the forward and reverse blocking state, with which the SCR is able to withstand with gate open. So these are all depicted in this figure. This is the forward sides, this is the reverse side, and these are the different values shown in the graph in the forward directions, and this is in the reverse bias mode, that is in the reverse directions. So these are the different important voltages which is required. Then on-state voltage is the voltage drop between anode and cathode with specified junction temperature and on-state forward current, and this varies of the order of 1 to 1.54. Gate triggering voltage VGT. This is the say minimum voltage required by the gate to produce gate trigger circuit. Forward DVDT rating, maximum rate of rise of anode voltage that will not trigger the SCR without any gate pulse or signal. If this value is more than the specified value, the SCR may be switched on. The SCR in forward blocking mode is analogous to the capacitor with a dielectric. So the charging current flows to it when the applied voltage is increased. If the rate of rise of voltage is more, sufficient charges will flow to the junction J2 of the SCR, and hence the SCR will be turned on without any gate signal. This type of triggering is called a false triggering, as false triggering, and in practice it is not employed. So this rating depends on the junction temperature. If the junction temperature is high, the DVD rating of the SCR is lower, and vice versa. With the use of summer networks across the SCRs, it is possible to limit the maximum DVD applied to the SCR. So now come to voltage safety factors. Usually the operating voltage of the SCR is kept below the VRSM reverse surge, peak reverse surge voltage to avoid damage to SCR due to uncertain condition. Therefore, the voltage safety factor relates operating voltage and VRSM. It is given as it is the ratio of VRSM and say √2 times RMS value of the input voltage. And sometimes some books it is written the VRRM, that is the reverse repetitive peak values of the voltage, and ratio of this and VRRM and say √2 times the RMS value of the input voltage. So basically this value normally lies between 2 to 3, sometimes it is 2 to 2.5 like that. So these are all very important ratings of the voltage of SCR. You have to know all these ratings before you use this SCR for a particular purpose of any power electronics devices. So this SCR ratings must be what is given. What is your requirement? You have to select something, some higher ratings also because of the safety margin. So these are very important things. That is what I told you in the very beginning of this. These voltage ratings. That is peak working forward blocking voltage VDWM, reverse repetitive forward repetitive peak voltage VDRM. Surge voltage peak VDSM, WM peak reverse working voltage VRRM, non-repetitive on-state voltage, gate triggering voltage, forward DVD rating, voltage safety factors, etc. So this thing you must have to know before using any SCR for any particular purposes. I think you are now familiar. You will be familiar, and you understand it. This is all about voltage rating of SCR. Okay. Now I will discuss about the current rating of SCR. So after voltage rating, current rating is also important for selecting an SCR for any particular use. So basically, an SCR is a unilateral device, and hence average current rating is assigned to it, while the RMS current rating is assigned to bilateral devices. SCR is a unilateral device, so average current rating is assigned. So SCR has low thermal capacity and short time constant. This means the junction temperature exceeds its rated value even for short overcurrent. So this is very important. This may lead to damage the SCR. Therefore, current ratings must be properly selected for long life of SCR, as the junction temperature depends on the current handled by it. So let us look at various current ratings of SCR. First of all, the average on-state current rating. So this is IT average. This is maximum repetitive average value of forward current that can flow to the SCR such that maximum temperature and RMS current limits are not exceeded. Once again, I'm speaking. This is the maximum repetitive average value of forward current that can flow through the SCR such that maximum temperature and RMS current limits are not exceeded. The forward voltage now across the SCR is very low when it is in conduction mode. So power loss in the thyristor is entirely depends on this forward current IT average. So in case of phase control SCRs, the average forward current depends on the firing angle. But the given average forward current, the RMS value of current is increased with decrease in conduction angle. This leads to increase the voltage drop across the SCR, which in turn increases the average power dissipations, hence junction temperature rises beyond the set limit. So in order to limit the maximum junction temperature, the permissible average forward current has to be lowered with decreasing conduction angle. So basically, manufacturers usually provide the data sheet that shows the forward average current variation with respect to the case temperature. So as an example, we can say the current waveform formed from the positive half cycle for different conduction angle. Here it is given. This is for conduction angle 30 degree. This is the temperature. This is junction temperature. This line shows. This is for 60 degree conduction angle. This is 120. This is 180 degree, and this is the conduction angle. Okay. So these are the figure. From this figure we can say. So now RMS on-state current, IT RMS. This is the maximum repetitive RMS current specified at a maximum junction temperature that can flow to the SCR. Maximum repetitive RMS current specified at a maximum junction temperature that can flow to the SCR. For a direct current, both RMS and average currents are same. However, this rating is very important for SCR subject to low duty waveforms with peak currents. And also this rating is required to prevent excessive heating in leads, metallic joints and interfaces of SCR. Now come to surge current ratings, ITSM. It specifies the maximum non-repetitive surge or surge current that the SCR can withstand for a limited number of times during its lifespan. So remember, this is not a for conduction, this is for lifespan. So this is so it's the maximum non-repetitive or surge current thyristor or SCR can withstand for a limited number of times during its lifespan. The manufacturers specify the surge rating to accommodate the abnormal conditions of SCR due to short circuits and faults. If peak amplitude and the number of cycles of the surge currents are exceeded, the SCR may get damaged. Now I2T rating, this rating is used to determine the thermal energy absorption of the device. This rating is required in the choice of a fuse or other protective equipment employed for the SCR. So this is the measure of the thermal energy that the SCR can absorb for a short period of time before clearing the fault by the fuse. Okay, so it is the time integral of the square of the maximum instantaneous current I square T. That's why. For a reliable protection of SCR by the fuse or other protective equipment, the I2T rating of the fuse or any other protective equipment must be less than the I2T rating of the SCR. Otherwise, if it is more, then it is fuse of no use. Before blowing the fuse, the SCR will be blown. So that's why it will be less than the I2T rating of the SCR. DIDT rating. DIDT rating is the maximum allowable rate of rise of anode to cathode current without any damage or harm to an SCR. If the rate of rise of anode current is very rapid compared to spreading velocity of the charge carriers, so local hotspots are created due to concentrations of carriers on account of high current density in the restricted area of the junctions. This raises the junction temperature above the safe limit and hence SCR may be damaged. So for all SCRs, the maximum allowable DIDT rating specified in order to protect the SCR. So it is specified in amperes per microseconds and typically utilize the range in the range of 50 to 100 amperes per microseconds. Now latching current, IL. It is the minimum on-state current required to maintain the SCR in on-state after gate drive has been removed. After turning on of the SCR, the anode current must be allowed to build up such that the latching current is attained before the gate pulse is removed. Otherwise, the SCR will be turned off if the gate signal is removed. Now, come to the point of holding current. This is the minimum value of the anode current below which SCR stops conducting and turns off. The holding current is associated with turn off process and usually it is a very small value in the range of milliampere. Then gate current. As the gate current is more, earlier will be turn on of the SCR and vice versa. However, safety limits must be provided for gate by specifying maximum and minimum gate currents. For controlling the SCR, gate current is applied to the gate terminal. So this gate current is divided into two types: minimum gate current IG minimum and maximum gate current IG max. And the minimum gate current IG minimum is the current required by the gate terminal to turn on the SCR, whereas IG max is the maximum current that can be applied safely to the gate. So between these two limits, the conduction angle of the SCR is controlled. Now, temperature rating of SCR, the forward and reverse blocking capability of SCR is determined by junction temperature Tj. If the maximum junction temperature is exceeded, the SCR will be driven to conduction state even without any gate signal. This upper limit of Tj is imposed by considering the temperature dependence on breakover voltage, thermal stability, and turn off time. And also an upper storage temperature limit Ts is also required to limit thermal stresses on silicon crystal, lead attachments, and encapsulating epoxy. Excess of these two temperature limits may cause unreliable operation of an SCR. In some cases, upper storage temperature limit is higher than the operating temperature limit of an SCR. Now, power rating of an SCR, the power dissipation of the SCR produces a temperature rise in the junction regions. This dissipation of power in the SCR includes forward power dissipation, turn on and turn off losses, and gate power losses, power dissipation. Average power dissipation, P average, it is the multiplication of the average anode current and the forward voltage drop across the SCR. This is the major source of junction heating in an SCR for normal duty cycle operations. The peak power from a given source must not exceed the average power dissipation rating to maintain the safety of the device. This rating is specified for a different conduction angle as a function of average power current. It is shown here. This is average power current, and this is average anode current, and this is different conduction angle. So here it is the firing current and the power current, and this is the conduction angle. Now, gate power dissipation, this rating defines both forward and reverse peak power and the average power applied to the gate. And if these ratings are exceeded, considerable damage occurs to the gate. Therefore, while calculating the voltage and current applied, the width of the gate functions is to be considered, because the peak power is the function of time. For pulse type triggering, gate losses are negligible, whereas gate signals with a high duty cycle, the gate losses becomes more significant. Other power losses include unstepped losses, off-step losses, forward blocking losses, and reverse blocking losses. Turn on and off losses also have to be taken into consideration while selecting the SCR ratings, since this constitutes a significant portion of the total losses. And also forward and reverse blocking losses are very small compared to the conduction losses. Since a small leakage current and negligible voltage drop in blocking steps, turn on and turn off time rating. The turn on time is the time interval between the instant at which the gate signal is applied and the instant at which the on-state current reaches 90% of its final value. So shorter will be the turn on time. If the gate type is increased, the turn on time is valid only for the resistive load, because the rate of rise for anode current is slow in case of inductive load. Therefore, turn on time does not indicate the time in which the device stays on if the gate signal is removed, and if the load is resistive, turn on time surely indicates the time interval in which the SCR always on even the gate is removed. So turn off time is the time interval between the instant at which the anode current goes zero or negative and the instant positive voltage is reapplied into the SCR. For fast switching SCRs, both turn on and turn off time values are very low. So these are the very important things regarding this different current ratings, current, matching current, holding current, temperature, etc. This is we've seen there's different current ratings, holding current, gate current, temperature rating, then power rating, gate power, different power distribution, turn on and turn off time rating. So during this we have covered voltage rating, current rating, power rating, turn on and turn off time rating. These all are to be kept into consideration must for selecting any SCR for any particular use of any, and all these things are supplied by the manufacturers. The list of these ratings are given. So you must be careful enough for selecting any particular purposes for any specific thyristors, and the specific say different rating, voltage rating, current rating, power rating, temperature rating, etc. should be taking into consideration. The selection of thyristors will be such that it will be something more than which you are requiring, because this buffer or the mode will give you the safety margin, so that any false use or malfunction of the SCR can be avoided. So I think from this lecture you must have get an idea about how you will select thyristors for PC or SCR for any specific use. So that's all about ratings and specifications of SCRs. And I think this you'll get enough information from this lecture. And going through this lecture, if you find any difficulties, you may ask me. It's my pleasure to give the answer of your questions, whatever I can do. So that's all about thyristor rating specifications, etc.